because we are going live on our streaming service. It looks like it is working,
Live
Joshy.
as it
So
go.
you just, I see that it's going.
Yep.
Go ahead and also record. Hi, everyone. I have to look at the right camera versus looking at myself video, which is great. We are going live on YouTube. We're going to live across the web. I'm with executive chef.
Oh, that's okay. Chef is fine.
I like that, but
We'll
you know,
say John, everybody.
everyone, it's just John, but never just John. When you see what he can cook and taste what he can cook, oh my gosh. So we're at the Cape Ray Resort in Carlsbad, California. We're with executive chef John Hart, and we're at the restaurant Chandlers. It's inside the Cape Ray in Carlsbad. It's a Hilton resort. It is beautiful. It's overlooking the ocean. Couldn't have a better place to work, I would imagine.
So along with everyone who works here, from Tom Slade, the general manager, Charles, the food beverage director, these guys have been around in the business for a long time, so we just gel really well here.
I love it. So he has a very special story, and it means a lot to us that he is joining us, and he is going to be showing us what he is going to cook. He has a personal story, a few health things going on that I'll let him talk about just a little bit, and his food choices to hopefully create a longer, healthier life.
Yeah. Well, during the pandemic, I was furloughed 15 months. I was working in San Francisco, so I had my health was in pretty good shape, but I wanted to do more. So I just started studying Dr. Greger and some of the other doctors, veganism, intermittent fasting, and just it worked for me. And so then and then my iPhone was just a savior because it motivated me to, go a little further, go a little further. I was going for 6 miles a day walking and challenging myself. And then I couldn't encourage my wife. I was married for 32 years, and I couldn't encourage her to come out with me or nothing. And so she fell ill about 8, 9 months ago, and actually had to have a quadruple bypass.
Wow.
And so when it reminds us all, I have other friends that are having issues, and it reminds us all to get checked out. And it's all about getting lots of sleep, diet, and having an active lifestyle. So I'm motivated and passionate about it, and I'm still fluctuating a little bit, but I go to the gym and I eat as well as I can, and my doctor's happy with me. He gave me the C 6 months later. And then Kim's giving me a hard time about my A1C. Thanks a lot. It was really good. But so these things work for me, and I believe in them. I think you can be flexible. So if it's you still want to eat fruits, you still like lean meats. I just think you can just drown in a lot of vegetables and the fiber that we need in grains. So it doesn't have to be so strict. I believe that I'm studied for so long. It doesn't. Whatever works for you doesn't have to be just vegan. That gets boring after a while. Then you want to start eating a little bit of protein, meat, 2 or 3 ounces. If you want to eat seafood, you could do the Stallone diet, where one day a week you can have donuts. I don't know, but
All of us have a little bit of a cheat day, don't we?
Right?
It's important. So we're, at this property here, we also have a spa that we're starting to tap into with those guests who are interested in, the 12 things you should eat every day. Eat your berries, eat your kale, and maybe taking a look at getting motivated around a healthier diet. And so one of the things that everybody's interested in is our zoodles that we have here.
Yes.
So today we're going to take a look at that, and then we can share the recipe with everybody. And it's definitely something that you can do easily at home.
What I love about the Zoodles, as everybody knows who's been tuning in for a while, my dad, and he loves his spaghettis, he loves his sauces, and it's a non-negotiable for him. And so I had to find an alternative, and one of the alternatives that we found was to make zucchini noodles, and that's what we're going to show you today. You can do so many different things, make a variety of different healthier sauces. Our sauce isn't 100% healthy, especially if you have diabetes. It does have a little brown sugar, but you don't have to add the brown sugar to it. You can use a coconut sugar. And I think it's even okay without it. You can add a little spice, maybe add some red chili what is it? Red pepper chili
Red
flakes.
Flakes, yeah.
Yeah.
Aleppo pepper, either sliced spices that you like, you know, some fresh choice from the garden.
I love that.
Definitely spice of that.
So we're going to start here. We're going to show you a Thai zucchini noodles. When my dad and I came here to this resort, that was one of the things. It's my dad's favorite. We come to this restaurant literally just for the zucchini noodles all the time. And so I wanted everybody to learn how to make them. So I'm going to turn it over to Chef John, and we're going to see how to make the Thai zucchini noodles.
So let's take a quick look at all the ingredients. So we have zucchini. This is a yellow squash and a zucchini. They're both kind of the same category. Onion. This is a Spanish onion. We have bean sprouts, super healthy. We have scallions. We have yams. And I like playing around with sweet potatoes because most people don't know the difference between a sweet potato and a sweet potato, or sweet potato and a yam. So sometimes my cook will order sweet potatoes, and the sweet potatoes are the yellow ones. And these are garnet yams. And I think that they're healthier. I think that they're more fibrous and not as high glycemic as just other potatoes. So it's definitely something that should be in the diet. And we have some nice sweet bell peppers. The more color you have in any vegetable, the more vitamins it has. But these are yellow, red, and green. And then we have the key ingredient that's like substituting, the pasta. And this is that eventually is like the zoodles. And we'll show you how to prepare those. And we're going to use a little bit of oil when we cook it.
Chef, can you explain what zoodles are? Can we buy them?
Sure. Zoodles is just a fun pun on noodles that are more about the zucchini instead of just a flour-based noodle. So they're zoodles with zucchini. Does that sound fun?
Yep.
Easy to remember, right?
And I think
Can
he's
we
going to
buy
show us how to make them too.
Any other questions? I thought
Yeah, do we make the zoodles or do we buy them in the store? They
You'll
look
make
dry.
them. Yeah. Sometimes you might be able to find some zucchini that's already stripped, but it's pretty easy to do at home. We have sort of a fancy little machine here that will, I don't know if you want to take a peek at this, that you'll carefully go down on and make these zoodles, but you can just as easily do it with a knife like this. We'll just do a couple on top of each other and just make a nice little long, to me, it's all edible here. And just make your own like this. And these are zoodles with zucchini. They're just vegetarian. You can make these definitely a few days ahead of time, definitely the day before, and you can make them as thin or thick as you want to.
And you can also, they're a little more expensive. You can buy them in the store. You can buy them in the freezer at many stores. I think Green Giant sells zucchini noodles that they use a spiralizer. I use a spiralizer at home. You can get them on Amazon for anywhere between $14 and $17. Of course, you have the electric ones, but I like to get a little extra workout in, gain a little muscle as I'm making my spiral zucchini noodles. But this is a simpler form, so anyone can do it.
Probably the spiral one is probably even a little safer than these too, than bringing your knife out.
Yeah, everyone saw when I cut my finger that one time.
There you go. So we're gonna put our pans on hot.
Okay, so he's putting on the pans.
We're using a blend of canola oil and olive oil. We don't cook straight with just extra virgin olive oil because of the flavor. It would, that's definitely the best olive oil that, one of the best that you can use. We'll use a blend. We'll get these nice and hot. And then we'll start with the things like onions and peppers that'll take a little bit longer to cook. We get these pans a little hot.
Okay, so he's gonna start the cooking. I'm really excited. So he's putting in some of the bell peppers and some onions because they do take a little bit longer to cook. And he's heating the pans right now. We always suggest, using a little bit, especially at home, if you have heart disease, to use maybe a little bit of, extra virgin olive oil. A little bit of avocado oil is also another option.
If you have a non-stick pan that you like to use, maybe you don't have to use any oil at all, just a very, very tiny bit, because I know it's high caloric too, right? Mm-hmm. Now,
another option that some people use is a little bit of organic chicken broth or a little bit of organic vegetable broth as well. And you can use that to make it into a little bit more of a stir fry.
Also, one of the things that I didn't point out is on these yams, I did pre-cook these. I boiled these for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And you could put them in raw and cook them with your chicken broth or anything like that. They'll cook in there, but they might be a little hard. But these are pre-cooked.
Okay.
So here we go. I've got like a nice big tablespoon of that. As much pepper as you want.
Lots and lots of peppers in there. He's putting on, oh my goodness. Sorry, we're a little bit distant over here from the stove. If we get too much closer, you're going to end up with, oh yeah, look at that.
How many
That's
servings
with a
does
little
he
bit of
prepare?
steam on the camera.
Yeah.
Kim?
Look at that for show. Don't you wish you could actually cook like that at home? That would be nice.
Just call me over, I think.
He says call him over. So we'll have to give everybody his phone number. Chandler is a Cape Ray.
Here's some of the zoodles that we have. And depending on the time of the year, they could be longer, shorter, just whatever works for you. One of the things that we just talked about in the recipe is sauce, which is basically peanut butter with coconut milk and a little bit of brown sugar.
So the sauce he's talking about has a little bit, you can use the organic unsweetened peanut butter, some coconut milk, and what was the other one? A little bit of brown sugar or coconut brown sugar.
It's chili sambal that we use that you can find in an Asian market, or most of the stores will have it. It's Sambal Oelek. It's got a little spice to it. You don't have to have it in there, but I like the spice. We just brought it to a boil just for a minute, and when you keep this in your refrigerator, you can keep it for a couple of weeks. Then we just put it in from the refrigerator. It's fine too.
Oh yeah, that looks so delicious.
Add these yams.
So right now he's adding some of the yams, if you can see there. Oh, this looks delicious. This is literally a vegan's paradise right here. I mean, you have so many different bright colors. You have a lot of different textures. I see you're putting a tiny bit of salt in there.
Everything, otherwise you're in trouble with me.
For some of the folks at home that don't use any salt, you can use a little Mrs. Dash, I'm sure, in there. But also when you use other spices, you may not even miss the salt at all. We always say when you add a bunch of extra garlic in there, you may not need the salt in there either.
Okay.
So now he's adding some of that sauce that we talked about. This is just some organic, unsweetened peanut butter and some coconut milk and a little bit of either coconut brown sugar or brown sugar. Or if you don't mind it not being too sweet, it's fine. You don't need any brown sugar at all, especially if you're a diabetic, you want to steer clear of the sugars.
So it'll be a nice sauce.
Oh, yeah. Is everyone getting hungry? I mean, this looks so simple and quick.
Wish we could smell it.
We'll add
Yeah, I know. It smells so good.
super healthy bean sprouts. I think we can. I'm gonna actually work at making some bean sprouts at home as long as it's at home.
Oh, really? You can actually make those at home?
Talk about that.
Yeah. He's going to talk about how he's making the bean sprouts actually at home in just a moment. I had never heard of such a thing.
I've thrown the microgreens.
Oh, he grows his microgreens at home. You know what? Actually, my younger brother does it. He does it in a jar.
Pizza box and coconut fiber.
A pizza box and coconut fiber.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's going to bring that over. It smells delicious. He's going to bring that over in just a second so everyone can see that up close and personal. This is just, it's beautiful. But I love looking down the line and I see all the colors of all the ingredients, and you have the bell peppers and you have the green onions. So did you use green onions in here or did you use yellow?
Onions, you can put.
Oh, so he uses the green onions that he just shreds and he puts them on top.
And green onions is one of my favorite sort of leafy greens to eat every day too. I kind of think of it that way. So
Really?
in that sort of pale green.
You know, it's one of the
I never thought of the green onions as a little bit of your leafy greens. Oh, that's a really great idea. I don't know if anyone else had actually thought of that either, but that's a really good idea. So what are you cooking over here? It looks like,
some hodu tofu with the organic tofu to Oakland, and we've got some catch. Because not everybody's vegan, right?
yep, so he has some shrimp over there that he's sauteing, and he also has some tofu. So the real key here is you can do everything and anything that you want with this. Oh my goodness, look at this, you guys.
So I love tofu. I'm not much of a station person. I don't even think I can say it right, but I love tofu.
So good. And the other one's gonna have a little bit of stuff on it. You can also add in, if you just want some organic, no antibiotic chicken, that's also really good on here as well. You can also put in, they also offer the seared ahi tuna on there. Even some salmon is another really good idea. I mean, you could almost eat zucchini noodles every single night. We had someone in our group that was talking about creating zucchini noodles with a little bit of red sauce as one of the options. I make a cream sauce at home using cashew milk, unsweetened cashew milk, raw cashews, lots and lots of garlic,
Yeah.
and then putting it in a blender with some arrowroot or xanthan gum to thicken it up. So delicious.
So, you were talking about, we do offer, we buy Jadori chicken here, which is, organic and grass and it's fed natural grains and what have you. We partner with a family who I know Frio and his family from deep sea. So we get bluefin tuna that's just caught right here, which is real special. And our seafood comes from them, and we're just really proud of their family, and they're so nice. So we're not doing grass-fed beef, but we're doing prime on most of it, and so we have a good beef program. You can have a flat iron steak or something on there, whatever you like. So here are the zoodles, and now we just need volunteers to eat these. So
Yeah, you want to hold them up?
Have to.
Hold them up towards, he's going to hold these up because we really got to see them.
So it smells wonderful.
Oh, look
And
at
it's a
this.
great lunch.
Oh, that looks really good. Look at this. Oh my goodness, that smells really, really good.
It's really aromatic.
Can you,
What about those bean sprouts that you were talking about that you can actually grow these at home?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm with it now where I have mung beans from the Ranch 88 market, and then you can just spread them out on a towel and wet, put them in the area for a while, and just wait for them to sprout. You can put them in a jar in your refrigerator and just let them continue to sprout. So look later on, when you come back, and we'll see how it turned out.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So does anyone have any questions for Chef John?
I do.
Okay.
I was curious with the tofu and not so much the shrimp, but if you did chicken or a different fish, how did you season it or prepare it to go on top of your dish?
Sure. For the shrimp, we just go with basic, the kosher salt, black pepper. I like black pepper as opposed to white pepper because it has more flavor. And then sometimes we have like a spice mix that we have that's kind of like a Cajun spice. That's what's on the shrimp. The tofu, we do use like a basil oil that's on it, almost like a pesto. We do ours with almond. You can do it without the cheese. And with chicken, it's generally just simple grilled. We marinated in rosemary and lemon and garlic.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oil, and then all those flavors impart into it, and then we grill that. Our steaks, we have one that we're doing with balsamic in the marinade, and we'll grill that on there. So all these just pair really wonderful with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Other questions? I hear some other folks coming in.
How long did that cook, and what's the serving size?
Right. This cooked really fast. I mean, we were under 5 minutes here. Once everything you've got it prepared, I think that you want to keep the vegetables crunchy. Vitamins are heat soluble, right? So try to keep all those vitamins jam packed in there. So it was under 5 minutes, and I would say this portion is probably, with just the zoodles alone, might be around 7 ounces. With all of the vegetables, we might be with the yams and everything together, it might be around 12 ounces. You know, I don't know calories or anything like that, but it's, you know.
And one more, can you go back and explain the potato thing again? I
Yes,
didn't
yes.
quite-
So it's funny. I'll have one of my other sous chefs. We have sweet potatoes. They're yams on the menu, but they'll order sweet potatoes. I like color. You know, I want to eat a purple cabbage instead of a white cabbage. I just like eating that way. I think there's more vitamins. So the yams, they're called garnet yams and they're orange. So if you've had them at Thanksgiving, right? Maybe you thought they were sweet potatoes, but they were yams. Just something I'm very passionate about.
Other questions? Like, when are we going to eat this?
Get it while it's hot.
I know that we have
Hey.
Rebecca on here. Rebecca, you're a really great cook as well. Are you
Hi,
inspired?
Rebecca.
Unmute and tell us what you think of what Chef John has actually cooked.
No, I love it. I always make zoodles as well, but I like that how he sliced it up nice. Usually I use my zoodle maker, but I find that sometimes it gets mushy. So how do you prevent it from getting mushy?
How do you
When you
prevent it from getting
spiral
mushy?
The way I added the onions first, and then I added the peppers, and then I when I added the zoodles, it was only in there for under a minute, and they'll stay nice and crunchy. The longer they'll go, then they'll steam and just cook away.
Yeah, I had one time where I actually cooked it for my dad and I felt terrible because I made squash.
Yeah.
I didn't make my
Squash.
zucchini noodles turned to squash.
Right.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I think we
you.
should probably have a bite of it. Should we make you all jealous and have a bite of it?
You want me to go grab some spoons?
Yeah.
Go grab some.
This is delicious. So, you know, we're going to be doing this every single Friday. Executive Chef John has offered to do even more out here with us on various Fridays. So if there are questions that you have for an executive chef, he has offered to be an advisor and to be here with us multiple times, multiple Fridays. I think we might even have a special guest, his pastry chef, I think might even jump in here. Oh, he wants to come out. The pastry chef actually wants to do a little something special for you guys. What do you say? Do you guys want to see how to make maybe a little dessert too? Yeah, I see some thumbs up. Okay, so we're going to grab a spoon and I think I'm going to get a bite in here. I'm a little
What kind of wine goes with it, Kim?
What kind of, did you just ask what kind of wine?
Well, we have to care for our hearts.
Yes,
I'm just thinking of our health.
resveratrol along with this. I wonder what kind of wine would be served with us. You know, we do a little mocktail that is very healthy that we get a white balsamic infused with Sicilian lemon, and we pour that into a little bit of sparkling water, and it makes a delicious mocktail. It's fabulous. I think the one to talk to about additional mocktails and cocktails would be Rebecca, because she is the mocktail cocktail genius. Oh, so look what we have coming in here. I think we have the pastry chef. Oh my goodness. What do we have here? Jean-Marie?
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing
Hi,
great. We gotta have you come over a
Jean-Marie.
little closer so that we can get you in
All right.
and get
Hello.
your, what do you
Hi.
have here?
This is a gluten-free olive oil cake with some fruit, some strawberry. Obviously, we have a lot of strawberry in Carlsbad here, so we try to feature some fruit and from the local area. And so we have here, you know, just some meringue, and it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free,
Oh
it's
no.
very light. Yes,
Are you
absolutely.
serious? It's dairy free too?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Can you tell us some of the ingredients that are in here? It's an olive oil cake. I'd never heard of such a thing.
It's olive oil
I
cake,
have.
so you see extra virgin olive oil, orange juice, orange zest, and some sugar, and that's pretty much it. And you know, it's very light, very fluffy. You should try it.
Oh my
Do you
goodness.
bake it?
Do you guys mind if I have a little dessert first? Because he's standing right here and he has, I'm sure, a fork that I can dive in. I don't know if any of you on there have ever heard of an olive oil cake, but
I
you
have.
know I'm anaphylactic to dairy and I can't have gluten. And so this is literally amazing. I'm gonna let
And then we can serve it with a
look at
a
this.
strawberry sorbet if you like, you know.
Now, do you bake that, or does it set like in a chilled environment?
You know, it's baked just like
It
a regular sponge cake, if we can say. You know.
It is actually, it's really moist. I'm gonna have Chef John Hart come in here and hold on to the microphone for a second because I want to have a bite of this. If you know, yes. Do you mind if I have a little taste of that
I've got
first?
a fork over.
Oh my goodness.
Is a fork gonna work or spoon?
Which
Okay.
one you want?
Are they different?
No, they are the same, but
Okay.
it's your preference, you know?
Oh, shoot.
The one on
And
the
then on
right.
the
But
side,
right here, she's in
both
charge of
beautiful.
marketing and she's helping. She's
Oh,
grabbing
eat
the camera
both.
for me.
Eat
So
Yeah.
tilt it up a little bit. There we are. Perfect. Okay. So how do I consume a little bit of this, a little bit of that?
yeah, if you like,
Okay.
so this is just a little bit meringue, so
I'm gonna make my dad jealous
Pull it
right
up.
now.
well, there you
Pull it
go.
up.
Oh my
Camera,
God.
Kim. Let us see it up close.
There you go.
Okay, so
Now here comes.
get in here. Oh my God, that is really good.
You're killing me.
I know. No, this is so good. Because you know what's surprising to me? It's that olive oil thing is so moist. It is really moist. And is that because the olive oil? So you have olive oil, you have orange juice.
And zest.
Not too sweet. You know, it's not
What's
so
holding
sweet.
it
It's not too
together?
sweet.
That's what I couldn't figure out. What if there's no eggs and no flour, what binds it?
So there's no eggs, there's no flour, or what kind of flour?
Well, there's gluten-free flour.
Oh, he uses a gluten-free flour. Can I have another bite of it? I definitely want to dig in
It's our
here too.
nutrition. Eat dessert first.
Here, try this one.
I hardly ever get to have dessert because I'm gluten-free and dairy-free.
Oh, that's.
You try this one. This one is even better.
Really?
It's the same, but it's
It's the
better.
same. I was gonna
But it's
say.
better.
Okay, I get a little mint leaf in there.
Can they make reservations for us to come and dine?
Oh, wow. That is really good, and especially with a little bit of the mint leaf. Is that a mint leaf?
Yeah,
It's the
Oh my God.
Micromint ladder.
peppermint. Yeah.
That is so good. And I know my dad's on here a little bit. We don't, as I said, we don't really get dessert at home. So this is such a treat. And is this something that you're doing special for us?
It's something, but it's also something we're gonna have in the summertime on the menu. I mean, right now we have a gluten-free, dairy-free chocolate cake.
But then
Okay.
you need we need to see this in action so we can learn how to do it.
Yeah, we want to learn how to make it.
Okay,
So we need to learn how to make this.
it's so easy.
So what do you say, Barbara? Jean-Marie, what do you say next Friday? We get you to actually show us how it's done.
Sure, absolutely. It's,
That would
it's
be
very
amazing.
fast. It's only a few ingredients. You just mix all the ingredients together. You don't need to whip it, anything like that. And that's it. You just make
We
it
need
Is it,
simple.
we
is it
need the
foolproof?
It's foolproof, yes.
What did you
we
say,
need
Doug?
the ingredients first because I want to try it when he's doing it.
Yep, everyone wants to make this.
All right.
So we got to get the ingredients and then we're all going to make it together,
Okay.
which would be
Kim?
amazing.
You go
Can
very
you
fast.
ask? I have a question for him.
Okay.
Yeah, for the people who are watching their sugar, and of course we all love desserts and we love sugar, but what do you think of the alternatives and how they transfer in the baking world? You know, do you have any ideas on that? Or is it
How
just
do
sugar?
the different sugars? So for people who are diabetic, how do you work with those to, do some of the alternative sugars work okay?
Well, yes, absolutely. Obviously, there's quite a few these days, different type of sugar that you can substitute. Once in a while, I like to combine a few different one, and I like to add a little bit of honey also for the taste. But it worked the same. I mean, it just, usually in my pastries, and I think pastries in general, anyways, these days, it's a lot less sugar
Yeah.
than before. Myself, for example, in my basic, let's say whipped cream that I use for decorating, when I started in 1970 to do pastries, and now I'm cut by 60% the amount of sugar that
Oh,
I put
wow.
compared to the old recipe that I have. And some people say your pastry is still even a bit too sweet. So there's people that cut even more. But I cut by 60% when I look at my old recipe back then, and now, right, in general, I get like 60% and sometimes even more, especially let's say for chocolate mousse or things like that. Before we was using the chocolate, the cream, and sugar, sometimes a lot of sugar. Now we don't use sugar anymore. We just use the sugar from the chocolate.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it isn't really that sweet. So, I mean, it has the perfect amount of sweetness, but it's not too sweet. So we're gonna find out. I don't think he uses very much sugar, and as you
No,
said, he cut it by
absolutely not.
60%
Yeah.
from what it
Absolutely
was.
not. Yeah.
Okay, so should we have a little bit of this? And then I'm diving into that too. Should we have a little bit of
Definitely.
this? Can I hand this over to Barbara and then just leave it right about here? And then I am going to, oh my gosh, this looks so good. Look at this, you guys. This looks so delicious. I'm just digging right in. But you know what I love in here is like, I mean, you have these big pieces of the bell peppers and the yams.
Yes, right.
The
Yeah.
yams. I got it right.
Remember.
So
Don't get it wrong.
can he remind us what he did with the salmon? What about like tilapia?
That was really good. That was really good. And I love the heat on it. I love the heat in it. Would you ask,
Sounds like a
Douglas?
question.
Like what did he do the salmon? I like salmon, but I like tilapia. What did he marinate it in something or?
The
For
salmon.
for,
What
for
do you
salmon, we keep it fresh, and a lot of times with salmon we won't marinate it. You can marinate it in anything you like, but you know the acids and the salts of things will start breaking it down quickly. We just keep it simple, fresh, just a little salt and pepper. But you could do something like a pesto if you wanted that on your salmon to grill it. If you're going to grill it, you could just add a little bit of oil, and the oil will create that smoke on there. You could have fun with a little bit of liquid smoke with a little bit of warm water, a little bit of oil, and put that on your salmon, get that smokiness. Or if you've got a smoker at home, and then after that, you could spice it up at the last minute. Like sometimes even when I'm eating broccoli or something, I like to remember to get those spices in there. So I'll put a little curry powder on it and a little lemon juice. And that'll be a big flavor, and I don't need salt at all. So you could do. Does that help, Douglas?
Yes.
I have another
Definitely. I
question.
love salmon.
Sure.
Okay, so you were talking about pesto, which I grow and make my own, I can grow my own basil and parsley and
Yeah, I
stuff
love
and
fresh
make
basil.
my, well, this was frozen, so it loses a little bit of color, but I always have it available to me. And I always use it like with fresh tomatoes in the summertime, or maybe mix it with a little pasta kind of a dish. I've never cooked with it. And so I'm curious, how do you cook with pesto?
Well, pesto, you would either, put it in the marinade and sear something. So if you're putting it on your fish or your chicken, you don't need to marinate. You can marinate it overnight, and then you can sear it or grill it. And then I would recommend, if you're going to put it in something like your zoodles or anything, just put it in the last minute, because it's packed with flavor. You don't want to cook it for very long. The color will start turning dark, and so you just add it the very last.
Right. Yeah, I usually spread it on a sandwich instead
Oh,
of
I
a meal.
love that. Yes.
But I've never cooked it, so thank
Yeah.
you.
You bet.
Yeah, I use
Even
and I do a mixture. I actually use you can't always get pine nuts, so I use walnut.
they're so expensive right now. So walnuts, we use blanched almonds, unless you're into there's too much water being used for almonds or something like that. But walnuts are great too.
Yeah.
Anything you could
What's
do
that?
without
Can
the
you
nuts.
elaborate on water and
Cashews, you could do.
And instead of using the pine nuts in your pesto, if you're gonna make it, you can use, and I actually
They're
I try
super
to
expensive.
use, yeah, the pine nuts are so expensive. So I
Right.
usually use walnuts, and he was saying that you can use a type of almond also for it.
So
I also use,
what's the controversy with the almonds? I've not heard of that they're packed
We
in water.
yeah, they're California almonds is what we're using, and then they've just been blanched. So there's no shell on them. There's no skin on them. But even if you had them, you could toast them in the oven a little bit, get that double that flavor, and then just add that into your pesto.
Thank you.
Can you put chicken on this dish also?
Oh, that would be wonderful. You bet.
Yep.
You
and
bet.
cook the chicken beforehand.
And when our guests come in, they get a choice of on the menu. They can choose the jajori chicken. They can choose the steak. They can choose the salmon, the shrimp, or the tofu. So they all go great with it.
Oh,
I
and
need
it looks like we have
reservations for
another surprise
5:30.
coming up behind that.
Oh,
Jean-Marie is
oh,
literally
sample. Oh, it's
I make one for you. So this time I add a little bit of the homemade raspberry sorbet also.
oh, no way.
So we bring some freshness and you know, sometimes we also have a lemon basil sorbet. So
yeah.
Okay,
we do all the ice cream and sorbet gelato in house.
you do that right here.
Yes.
Oh my
Where
God.
is the ice cream on that? Like, it looks like a platter of fruit from what I can see.
It's
Tiny bites.
Enjoy.
do you see it here?
Oh, in the middle. Okay.
And then some meringue in here. And I'm gonna have a little bit of the olive oil. Oh my God, that raspberry sorbet. You're
Uh-huh.
gonna have to show us how to do that too.
Okay.
What a
Guys,
good
this-
team you two make.
What is what?
What a good team they make.
Oh my God.
I can show you to make an
So good.
if you want, I can
Sorbet-
show you how to
sorbet
make
is
an
like-
ice cream with no ice cream maker.
Oh, you make this without an ice cream?
No, that one is with ice cream maker, but I can show you how to make one at home with no ice cream maker.
You guys wanna learn that?
Yeah, because you don't use cream in sorbet, it's ice. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just ice. Yeah, and you can make it, it's really, the raspberry flavor in this is really strong. It's
So that'll
delicious.
be next Friday.
Again, not too sweet.
Yeah,
No.
so they wanna know if you're doing this next Friday.
All right, you got it.
It says it's in. Should I turn it around and get the look on
All
Barbara's face? She's at the marketing here. And
Barbara.
it says it's okay.
You're good.
I think Barbara needs to come in here and take a bite. This is really, really delicious. Thanks, you guys. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. We're right here again. We're at Chandler's Restaurant at the Cape Road Resort in Carlsbad, California. It's right here on the ocean. And we want to thank, Executive Chef John Hart, because he has been operate to do this on multiple Fridays, to continue to be an advisor and help
Love to,
mentor you
yeah.
guys on to cook a little bit healthier, and especially with him being vegan. He also has his own garden that he's playing with outside here. So, throughout the summer, we're gonna get a look at his garden and get some, see what he's growing and see what we can also grow at home along with him. So
I got one more question
sure.
Yeah.
for the chef. So if you was sharing with us, remember some of us are single, and
Mhm.
it's hard to make these big dishes. So think about trying to help us learn how to do that properly. Also,
Like in,
Definitely. We can
in home
simplify.
style servings.
Sure, absolutely.
I have a
Absolutely.
question.
Sure.
So right where I live in Ohio, and we're at the beginning of growing season. And so I have an herb garden, but one thing I don't have is sage. And I'm wondering, do you think sage is a good herb to use and grow? And what would I use it for other than meat?
Yeah. To me, sage is good for a few things. If we're making risotto and we put fried sage on, or arancinis, fried sage on lamb. I like the big power herbs, like dill and tarragon and sherbels and the basil and things like that. So we use those. Rosemary, it's just great on seafood, great on chicken, great on anything, easy to grow. But if you enjoy sage, it's got definitely a strong dry flavor. And you'll be able to incorporate it into something. But I don't know about just eating it on its own like you would rosemary, to be enjoyable.
Thank you. I think I'll pass.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We do. We like all the stronger herbs and spices, and especially I've got to like something a little bit spicier now that my dad and I are not using salt very much at all anymore. I learned that even with, and I think Douglas will like this tip as well, is when I'm making soups, I add a lot of those red pepper chili flakes, and it helps so much to bring out a lot of different flavors in there. Then you just don't need a lot of the salt. But also, Douglas, you mentioned a good point in being someone who's single and at home. The dish that you just demonstrated for all of us, which is the zucchini noodles, the Thai noodles, especially with the Thai sauce. You can make any as much as you want or as little as you want, and you can also make it inside your Instapot. You can use the saute function on an Instapot, and you can saute these in there. Just remember, as Chef John mentioned, that you want to put the onions in first. They were yellow onions, right?
Yes.
So put in some yellow onions first. You can actually get them, Douglas, in the freezer. I use the chopped onions that I get in the freezer as well. Of course, much cheaper if you chop them yourself. But I know for me, a lot of mine ends up going to waste because if I'm just cooking for my dad or a whole onion can be wasted because I only need a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to start in your Instapot. You want to start with those onions. You want to start with the bell peppers, the chopped bell peppers, and let those soften up just a little bit. And you were saying with the yams that you put in there, you blanch them just a little bit before in some water.
We'll cook them ahead of time. We'll just cook them in boiling water.
Okay.
You know, you could cook those ahead of time, and you could meal prep where you could cook the potatoes and use them for a week.
Mhm.
You know, and pull out a little bit at a time, and they won't turn color. It's not like the other potatoes where if you don't cook it enough, it'll turn dark on you. These will do just fine. You can keep it raw in the refrigerator and bring it out a little bit at a time and cook it.
That's the thing. That's the thing is like when I'm single, but I've never even heard of this fruit. So it's like I've never even heard of it. So it's totally new. But now I can't stop thinking about what that looks like and how good
Yeah.
that probably is tasting right now. So
Yeah,
it's a lot to learn.
yeah. It's kind of like, to me, it was always that thing we ate at Thanksgiving, those yams. You know, and there are some in a can too, you know, canned yams. But they have all kinds of fun ones in there. And even if it is a sweet potato, that's okay too. You know, they for a while there I was exploring the blue zone. So the purple yam from Okinawa, you know, that was kind of fun too. Super fibrous. But you can see all these, most of the stores will have a little bit of variety on there.
And Douglas, I think you could probably add some green beans to this as well, because I know you like those green beans. Even
Yeah.
asparagus. You
Definitely.
can probably put some asparagus slivers
Yeah.
into the dish as well. You can
That's-
just make it really
I
what
was-
you want.
Right. It's asparagus season now.
I really wondered about this. I thought about the asparagus because I really enjoying that now. So
Mhm.
I wonder about adding that to it.
Definitely.
Definitely can.
Yes.
Well, you guys, it's been really fun. We're here at Chandler's Restaurant at the Cape Ray Resort in Carlsbad, California, with Executive Chef John Hart. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone, being here and coming along, and hopefully everybody will join us every single Friday. And I think we're going to try and get Jean Marie to show us a few of those tasty treats and how to make them next week. And I'll make sure to post the recipe ahead of time so you can gather those ingredients as well.
So here's to you guys and new friends.
Definitely.
Thank you